Welcome back to the America Cup 2025. It's Puerto Rico and Canada in a tough battle, 2-point game. And Jan Clavel doing his best to give Puerto Rico a chance to win it. 14 points on 4 of 5 from 2, 2 of 5 from 3. Clavel also has 3 assists. The captain playing his best half of basketball so far.
Yeah, and I think he also understands that Canada's going to overplay Jose Alvarado, right? He's going to get a lot of attention. He's going to get a lot of gravity. So Clavel had to be ready, and he was his first half to carry and shoulder some of the offense for Puerto Rico, right? Shooting the basketball, came off some screens, also got to the paint like you see here, the floater to show you the mid-range as well, right? Really balanced with his 3-level scoring, but I thought he was just smart play, didn't really force anything, and read the defense, read the offense. For Canada, your top scorer, Leonard Miller, right? And this is one of the first plays of the game where you get a screen big to big, and he just took Romero to the basket, got to that left side, his strong hand, and showing you a little bit of the finesse, right? He is also showing you physically he's capable of competing with, the veterans, the bigger, stronger players of Puerto Rico. But I love the intensity that he started with. He was one of the ones where he wouldn't be denied, right? Comes up with an offensive rebound, tipped a couple times, but just made sure he came up with it. Second jump, third jump, showing you a little bit of passion as well. So love to see what he's doing. I was most impressed that he was prepared for this game because, yes, it was one of the most anticipated games of this tournament. I'm sure there was a lot of pressure going into walkthrough, going into, practices in terms of just being prepared, and he wasn't tight. He didn't feel overwhelmed with the responsibilities that he was going to have on the floor.
Yeah, Leonard Miller, a product of the NBA G League Ignite before getting drafted in the second round, 33rd overall by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously a phenomenal talent, 6'10", but has the kind of perimeter skill set. Canada in that first half. Again, they shot 5% better than Puerto Rico. I should say 8% better than Puerto Rico. Nate Darling, who you saw there briefly on your screen, has the highest plus minus at +8 so far for Canada with his 5 points, knocking down a couple of perimeter jump shots.
Yeah, I think, to your point, both teams have played really well. Right, it's all about matchups here for Canada. As soon as Romero checks into the game, right, they've got to have a bullseye on him and make sure that somebody picks him up or they get 2 bodies on them because they're doing a good job in their defending. But you've also got to just make sure he's not picking up the offensive rebounds. He has 3 of them here, and Puerto Rico has 9. Right, that's giving them some second chance opportunities. But again, this is going to be a back and forth battle. Both teams have. There's been 3 lead changes. The game's been tied 3 times, and nobody's really ran away with it. There haven't been big runs by either team. Canada's biggest run has been 7 points. Puerto Rico's biggest run has been 6 points. So that both squads are locked in, and defensively, right, what are you going to see this half? Right, Canada's seen some zone from Puerto Rico. Was able to attack it a couple times, but when Puerto Rico switches up the defense, you're going to have to go out there and consistently make plays in that zone. And I thought Kyle Wiltz received warming up in front of us. He did a good job of stretching the floor against that zone and knocking it down a couple times. For Canada, right, continue to defend Jose Alvarado, right? They've kept him at bay thus far in this game, but he's a guy that can turn on really quick, score baskets in bulk.
Yeah, it's been a very evenly played contest so far. Both teams knocking down 15 field goals. Both teams knocking down 3 3-pointers. The rebounding numbers +4 for Puerto Rico. Points in the paint +2 for Canada. Bench points 13 and 9 for Canada. Fast break points, a 2-point difference. So up and down the box score, you can see that, like we said, it was just going to be a tight matchup.
Yeah, and I want to see, you talk about it being a tight matchup. I thought Leonard Miller for Canada came out prepared for this intensity and this physicality. I want to see Keyshawn George, right, challenge himself. This is a test. It's a physical team that he's playing against. But if he can get himself going offensively, it'll get Canada a bit more flow, a bit more fluid on that side of the floor.
Yeah, Keyshawn George, 4 points so far. He had a great first game for Canada, put up 18 points in 30 minutes, knocking down 4 threes and having 4 steals against Venezuela. The last game, they didn't need him as much. Again, they won by 50, had 9 points, but can be a little bit more aggressive. We saw him try to post up the one time against Alvarado. Didn't work out that particular possession, but I'm sure Nate Mitchell will find some ways to get him involved. So we're under 2 minutes here away from the start of the second half. A 2-point game. These two teams have a rich history head-to-head. Canada and Puerto Rico facing off 24 times in total. Puerto Rico actually winning 17 of those 24 matchups. But the last game was back in 2015, the OQTs. Canada winning that one 112-92. But before that, Puerto Rico had won 4 in a row. So again, Puerto Rico, rich basketball history. Obviously, Canada, their rise has come pretty much since you suited up for them about 15, 20 years ago. And it's continued to rise since then.
I see what you're doing here. You're trying to age me. My body feels like it was 15, 20 years ago.
Hey, all I know is that you were at the 2010 FIBA World Cup in Turkey. That one was 15 years ago. Felt right.
You know what? That's where we're going to cut this off. We're cutting it off there. I'm not aging myself anymore.
Hey, Carlos Gonzalez, we'll see if he makes any adjustments as far as the starting lineups are concerned going into the second half. And then he only saw Gary Brown for about 6 minutes, 0 for 2. Brown, one of those guys who can really get it going offensively as well. Alfonso Plumer also scoreless in that first half. Plumer came into this game averaging 13 points per game off the bench. So again, you kind of need those guys to step up a little bit. As a reminder, please scan your QR codes, the QR code on the screen to download the Courtside 1891 app. It just has all the basketball content you could ever imagine, live streams, highlights, scores from basketball games happening all over the world. Big shout out to Angola winning the Afrobasket over this past weekend. Of course, that's another rich basketball country, qualifying for the World Cup a few times, and of course the Olympics as well. And we crowned the Afrobasket, we've crowned the Asian Cup champion, Australia victorious over China in that final. Now it's the AmeriCup, and of course the Eurobasket getting underway in just a couple of days. A great summer of basketball for the national teams.
Great summer. You talk about rich culture amongst all these teams. I'm sitting in front of us, and Carlos Arroyo giving instruction to Jose Alvarado. A number of their players coming over to greet him. Obviously, he's the general manager of Puerto Rico, but coming over to greet him, and he's not just manager, but mentor, right? Giving instruction and almost coaching from the sideline over here as well. A ton of knowledge that he has to share. You can tell there's a ton of respect for him as not only general manager for this Puerto Rican club, but, you know, mentor and friend for a number of these guys.
Listen, Carlos Arroyo as the third quarter now underway. Canada with the ball and the 2-point lead, but Carlos Arroyo responsible for one of the biggest upsets in basketball history as Puerto Rico defeated the USA team back at the Olympics in Athens in 2004. And then they had to wait 20 years for the next Olympic qualification, which came, of course, last year in Paris. And a foul called on the first possession. So Canada will take it back out, sideline out of bounds. Kabengele with Romero all over him, gets by him, draws a foul, and he'll head to the free throw line. That's just strong on strong right there.
That's a change that Puerto Rico went. Coach Gonzalez did coming into the second half here is Romero starting the game with Condit.
Kabengele missing the first free throw. And Romero picking up 2 fouls in a matter of 8 seconds in this third quarter. Kabengele goes 1 for 2 at the line. Jose Alvarado running the point guard duties for Puerto Rico. Mooncat tasked with guarding him. Alvarado in the corner, and Clavel takes a hard fall. You see him grabbing the back of his head. Shelby Haynes helps him up as Alvarado, runner no good. Chance here for Canada to run. And there's going to be a technical foul on Puerto Rico. Alvarado asking the referee to call a foul. He's got to be careful here. So Keyshawn George will head to the free throw line for the technical free throw. Alvarado, of course, upset at the no call on the other end. So multiple Puerto Rican players having discussions with the referees. Keyshawn George, that could be trouble, just seeing the ball go through the net. So a bit of a disruptive start to this quarter. We've had already 3 or 4 breaks in the action.
That technical also puts a little pressure on the officials now for the next couple of attacks for Alvarado.
And there, Keyshawn George forcing the shot, trying to draw the foul, no call. Puerto Rico down 4 with the ball. Mooncat allowing him to use his hands a little bit. Step back 3 for Clavel. That's a long 2.
There's nothing you can do there. That's good defense, better offense. Tough shot making.
Indeed. Here's Keyshawn George on the other end. He gets inside, lobs it up to Kabengele for the alley-oop. Great feed there from Keyshawn George. The pick and roll. Pinheiro on the baseline, looking to dump it off, and it's deflected out of bounds. And Kabengele, doesn't matter if it's a dunk or deflection, he's high.
Well, Puerto Rico's having a tough time getting into their offense, and then here you get the lob job by George, just staying low and attacking. The hesitation here forces Romero to step up, and Kabengele finishing it up.
A lot of physical contact inside as Condit gets the left-handed hook to drop. You can tell this game getting more and more intense by the minute. Oh, nice move from George. Creating a little bit of space, but Alvarado does what he does best, takes the ball away.
They call him Grand Theft Alvarado.
GTA. Oh, driving kick. Condit thought about it. Alvarado doesn't have to think about it. Knocks down a 3. Just like that, Puerto Rico takes the lead, 41-40, early on here in the third quarter. Miller, oh, got bumped. Kabengele follows and finishes through a little bit of contact. Back and forth we go. Romero back out to Condit. He's looking for somebody to hand it off to. It's Clavel. Inside to Condit. I think he was held by Mooncat.
Mooncat knew it, right? Condit rolled to the basket and got behind him, and right away had to take a foul.
First team foul on Canada. Puerto Rico already picking up 3 team fouls in the early minutes here. We take a look at Mooncat. He's holding him with the right hand. Alvarado catch and shoot in the corner. Back-to-back trays for Jose Alvarado.
Sometimes you got to take the technical just to turn yourself up.
Yeah, clearly that technical got Jose Alvarado going. He's now in double figures with 10. Starting backcourt for Puerto Rico, responsible for 26 of their 44 points. Trey Bell-Haynes looking to answer. Can't finish at the rim. A chance here with numbers for Puerto Rico. It's Alvarado, transition 3.
That's
3
tough.
in a row for Jose Alvarado.
That is tough. And Cavell knew it right away, right? You get the stop, you advance it up the floor, and it's a smart play. If you get it, nice pass, shot in the corner. Kabengele just didn't get out there in time. Now he starts to feel it. Cavell kicks it back, and he's getting this at 30 feet out. Kabengele again gets it, but that's just good, smart, heady basketball by Puerto Rico. And they've kind of been waiting for that moment from Jose Alvarado to really get going and charge their offense.
Yeah, Jose Alvarado knew that was going in the moment it left his fingertips. You saw him already jogging back on defense. Listen in here to the Canadian timeout.
You got a catch? Marcus, set this. Set this for him. Try to look at him. All right? If it's not open, TK, you're going up, DHO. Marcus, you want to go here and roll out. Then you're on the shake up. Okay? If you don't like it, go DHO with Keith. Offensive organization. What's up? Okay. Swing. Point. Simple stuff early. Simple stuff early.
Make sure you scan that QR code yet again. As you know, the Courtside 1891 app, the go-to app for all things basketball, is Jose Alvarado helping Puerto Rico build up a lot of momentum here in this third quarter. Already 9 points on 3 of 3 from all beyond the arc. Also has a couple of assists, although his last 2 3-pointers came courtesy of passes from Jan Clavell, who has 16 points and 5 assists himself. Can Canada respond? Thomas Kennedy on the floor, as well as Marcus Carr and Nate Darling. So 3 substitutions for Canada. Here's Carr at the elbow. Can't hit the mid-range. It's another stop for Puerto Rico. Can they continue to build out this run? You can imagine Jose Alvarado must be looking for a heat check at some point. Clavell coming off the screen. Pinned down, no good. George now gets inside.
Ooh,
nice
that's
pass.
super tough. That is tough.
And Thomas Kennedy finishes with authority over Romero. Alvarado, he can shoot it from there, decides to give it up to Condon instead. Nice strip from George. Good defense from Canada. And a tough pass. Darling collects it. Back to George for 3. Ties it up.
He's answering the call. Alvarado had his moment. Keyshawn George having his now.
Again, it's a pretty good prediction to say that the winner of this game will have the #1 overall seed in the quarterfinal bracket, as Romero finishes through contact.
Man, he's built like a house. He just moved everybody out of there. And Thomas Kennedy is no slouch. That's no small fry. Gets that basketball here. You see penetration here. Alvarado had nowhere to go. Drops it off to Romero. He moves out 2 players, Miller and Kennedy.
Yeah, great
I'm moving in.
Alvarado just kind of left it there for Romero. Didn't have to put too much on the pass. And a chance to get the 3-point play the old-fashioned way here for Romero. Again, he's 4-4 from the field, just so efficient. As I mentioned in the first half, he's only missed 3 field goals the entire tournament. He's been in double figures in each game. So Gary Brown coming in. There you see him. Replaces Jan Clavell. He's had a great game by his standards, no question. Alvarado waiting for his moment to pounce on the steal, but just playing solid defense so far. Here's Kennedy, the high-low pass to George. Good help. Kicking out Kyle Wilcher, can't leave him open, and they're fortunate he just missed it. Alvarado up ahead. Here's Pinheiro, drive and kick. Romero at the elbow, gets it at the free throw line. Brown turns the corner, lobs it up to Romero. Actually, it got up on the rim instead. And George, little push off and one. Big time move from Keyshawn George.
That's big boy basketball.
Yeah, he's coming alive here. The young player out of the University of Miami. Take a look, takes the bump from Pinheiro, uses the forearm to create a little bit of separation, and he'll have a chance to tie it at the free throw line.
I like it. You got a little edge to it. Both Pinheiro and Alvarado got in his face and wasn't phased.
Listen, he might have been born in Switzerland, but he's not neutral about anything. Again, the Swiss Canadian, of course, playing for Canada. Likely a good decision on his part. Of course, Canada's so stacked as a roster, but can't ever have too much talent. Squared away here at 50, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pinheiro on the block. He has Darling on him. Nice move inside. A little bit of contact, doesn't matter. Pinheiro for two. He's been relatively quiet. Just his second field goal. Kennedy inside. Here's Carr. Keyshawn George catch and shoot. Ooh,
That's NBA range. That's NBA range. He's turning up now.
9 straight points for Keyshawn George. He's now in double figures. Little step back Alvarado, and Romero clears out space. And they're going to call a foul on the floor. Third team foul for Canada.
That's 10 offensive rebounds for Puerto Rico. Just so hard. Nice to Keyshawn George to catch and shoot. That's where he's so good. He's exceptional. He gets that basketball into a shooting pocket, gets that basketball up, and he's 6'7" with a really good wingspan. So as soon as he elevates, there's nobody that really can contest it, especially when he's 24, 25, 26 feet out here.
Yeah, Keyshawn George, again, he had a great year as a rookie with the Washington Wizards. 9 points, 4 rebounds per game out of the University of Miami. Here's Alvarado, catch and shoot in the corner. Low long, air ball. George the rebound. Canada with numbers. Smart play by the point guard. And just like that, Canada back up top. Back and forth we go.
Smart play there, not forcing the issue, right? Marcus Carr pushing the basketball in transition in the open court. Doesn't force it, stops and pops with that little floater, making life easier.
Yeah, Marcus Carr, somewhat known as a distributor on this squad, and probably knew that they were going to look waiting for him to pass, but instead takes that shot. You see the split here. Puerto Rico, 12 bench points, and the 17. Let's listen in.
Tú y yo jugamos ese flop de ahí. Sí, let's go.
.55, 52 here in the third quarter. Canada a 3-point lead. Keyshawn George, number 7 for Canada right there on your screen, has been the difference maker, pretty much taking over these last few possessions.
10 points in this quarter. And that's on the heels of Jose Alvarado having his run. So I got to respect it. Kid has a chip on his shoulder.
Carr with good ball pressure on Brown. Lavelle asking for the screen. Gets the switch. Shot clock at 2. Tough shot. Good contest from Wilcher. Long rebound. Carr comes away with it. George takes a fall, gets back up. He can hit this. Ooh, Fortunate bounce there for Puerto Rico. Ended up considering the review. Wilcher, you see, claims that he didn't touch the ball. And even more time for the coach to consider it. As we're getting a little bit of a...
I don't think you don't use it now. I think that's smart by Coach Mitchell because it's such a close game. You may need that in the fourth quarter. It's not NBA rules where if you use it and win the challenge, you retain it.
Here's Brown, gets over half court. Clavel, leading scorer for Puerto Rico at 16. Toro finds Capos. He can hit that, but he airballs that one. Kelly the rebound. Canada, 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They'll just walk it up. Wilcher, nice post up. Skip pass. Nate Darling, wide open. Knocks down another three-pointer.
That's really good. Keyshawn George showing his IQ, right? Called off every play. Coach Mitchell was calling something from the sideline, but even how he made the pass, Wilcher gave him the inside hand, lobbed it up, put enough air under it, and Wilcher making another big-time play to the corner for Nate Darling's three.
Oh, nice shot there from Plumer off the glass. His first basket of the night. They really need him to get going.
Accelerating on an angle and off the glass.
Oh, Carr, great defense. Gary Brown, great defense on Carr. Felt the push, fell to the ground, and draws the offensive foul. Take another look here. Brown just moving his feet.
Yeah, staying down, guarding your yard, and anticipated that forearm. And Marcus Carr, as soon as you extend that arm, the officials give the officials a reason to call it. Big time defense by Brown.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Canada up 4. Puerto Rico looking to finish this quarter strong. Clavel, tough shot, gets fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line. The referee says he got tapped on the elbow. Somewhat of a bailout call.
Good job by him keeping the basketball alive. That re-screen gets into the paint. Keyshawn George staying down, but as he faded, created a little space and gets nicked on the elbow. Gets himself too.
Keyshawn George playing a lot of minutes so far. He's played 5 minutes more than any of his teammates. On the other side, it's Jose Alvarado and Jan Clavel getting the heavy minutes for Puerto Rico as Clavel can't hit that first free throw. So still sitting on 16 points. Chance to make this a one-possession game. Splits the free throws. We're going to see Trey Bell-Haynes re-enter the fray for Marcus Carr. Puerto Rico showing a little backcourt pressure, looking to speed things up. 42 seconds left here. See if Canada goes for a 2-for-1. Clavel looking to deny George. Here he is with the ball now. Nice double team, and he finds Bell-Haynes. Three-pointer, no good. Puerto Rico get the stop and can just run out the clock here in the third quarter. Looking to get one shot. Clavel wants it. Driving kick, Gary Brown. Nice contest from George, might have deterred the shot. And a foul underneath will be free throws. I believe it's going to be a foul on Cabangele for a hold. So 2 free throws here for Arnaldo Toro. .1 seconds left in the period. Toro, a bit of a push shot on the free throw.
Yeah, that was a little floater. But it counted. It counted.
Hey, man, if it goes in, what can we say?
It don't matter how you shoot it. Underhanded. Close your eyes, toss it up. As long as it goes in, it still counts.
Toro, who plays in the BSN in Puerto Rico, alongside a number of these players, of course, for Puerto Rico. Really only Alvarado who's in the NBA, then George Condit and Jan Clavel, who both play in Spain, and Alfonso Plummer playing in Germany. All other 8 players over in Puerto Rico. As Bell Haynes' desperation heave doesn't come quite close. So at the end of the third quarter, Canada, a 58-57 lead in this Group B matchup. It's been close the entire time. Of course, what you expect, 2 of the best teams here in the tournament, as you check out some of the stats. Again, the defense has been impressive. Offense somewhat picked up in that third quarter. Puerto Rico now up to 42% shooting from the field. Canada, 48%. As we check out one of the best plays in the last 10 minutes, it's a lot of Jose Alvarado and Keyshawn George, a little bit of Jan Clavel mixed in between. There you saw the lob from George to Kabengele, not just a scorer, able to find his teammates as well. There was that give and go between Clavel and Alvarado. The first of 3 consecutive threes for Alvarado. There was another one. And of course, there TK with a DUNK. Arrow and 1. Very exciting quarter of basketball. Puerto Rico with a 23-22 edge in that quarter after being down 2 at halftime. Jan Clavel leads all scorers with 17. Alvarado 13, Romero with 10. They are the 3 players from Puerto Rico in double figures. On the Canadian side, it's Keyshawn George as the only player double digits with 14 points. Somewhat of a quiet quarter, though, for Leonard Miller. Once again, scan that QR code, download the app. You already know what to do. I got it. Javon's got it. That's how we get to watch all the games. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, of course. Our last 2 games in the group phase, Uruguay versus the Bahamas, and the nightcap, USA versus Brazil. That group still very much up for grabs. So far, 3 teams with 1 win. The only way we know who goes to the quarterfinals and the seeding is if you tune into those games. So 4th quarter now underway. Gary Brown on the floor with Pinheiro, Condit, Plumer, and Arnoldo Toro for Germany as Condit, nice backdoor cut, but he misses the layup, kind of got stuck in between dunking or laying it in.
We're seeing a lineup that haven't really seen this tournament yet with Kabengele, Wilshire, and Miller on the floor, Canada going much bigger with the 2-guard front.
Yeah, and Carr and Bell Haynes both on the floor, the 2-point guards make up the backcourt. Shot clock at 2, and it's a deflection and a steal. Here's Plumer coming down the right side of the floor. Gary Brown, he gets inside, leaves his feet, but Bell Haynes read it perfectly. Pinheiro commits a foul in the backcourt. Again, you see the IQ by Bell Haynes, being able to anticipate where that pass was going. And already a substitution.
Yeah, we didn't get to see too much of it.
1 possession was enough for Nate Mitchell. Kabengele sitting on 9 points with 5 rebounds so far. Mooncat. Oh, nice strip by Condit. Pinheiro takes a hard fall. And Wilshire commits a foul to slow things down. You see good defense here by Condit.
He got that left hand in there. Just enough on the ball to poke it loose. Smart foul by Wilshire.
They're looking to free up Plumer. They get just that on the right wing. He can't hit. Toro keeps it alive. Condit, bodies all around him. Can he maintain the possession? He does. Kicks it back out. 8 on the shot clock for Puerto Rico. It's Brown. Between the legs. Step back over Wilcher. Tough shot.
That is huge. That is huge.
Gives Puerto Rico the lead yet again. And Miller can't get the first tip, the second tip, the third tip. Loose ball. Toro comes away with it. Puerto Rico looking to build on the momentum. It's Brown again, lays it up. Can't finish. And we've had 7 lead changes so far in the game. Canada's led for 21 minutes. And a foul. They're going to call that on the floor. Mel Haynes felt like he didn't put the ball down after the whistle was blown. Here comes Nate Darling, who's, again, shot the ball very well. Just 8 points for him. Knocked down 2 threes. Mooncat heads back to the bench. The kick out. Bell Haynes left wide open, and he makes him pay.
That's good execution. Right, Marcus Carr dribbles that basketball over to the right side of the floor, so Nate Darling can come off that wide pin down. He curls it and kicks out to Bell Haynes in the corner.
Gary Brown now. Screen from Condit. Turns the corner. Left it short on the glass. Another stop for Canada. Oh, Bell Haynes. Looked like he fumbled it, but he finds Darling. And Toro made a tackle to himself. Pass up ahead. Pinheiro finds Plumer. I think he stepped out of bounds. Lack of spatial awareness. So he'll come out of the game replaced by Jose Alvarado. Take another look.
Both Plumer and Brown did a good job holding down the minutes, while Jose Alvarado got some rest in Clavell.
Yeah, so the starting backcourt back on the floor for Puerto Rico. Neither team able to create much separation. You see there the time of the lead. Canada 21 minutes, Puerto Rico just 8. But still a 1-point game, and a block there from Toro.
That possession there, Miller gets the basketball on that right elbow. They've ran this a couple times from where they just open up the left side of the floor. Not sure why, didn't recognize it, but all he had to do is continue that attack with the left hand. He goes right back to the right side where all the traffic was.
It's good interior defense by Toro and Condit, and then here comes Romero as Toro gets a nice ovation from his teammates and the Puerto Rican fans who've made the trip here to Managua. Of course, Mitchell counters by reinserting Kabengele. It's beast for beast with Romero and Kabengele on the floor. I mean that in the nicest way possible. Alvarado gets inside, little runner, nice looking shot from Jose. And that lead keeps changing seemingly every possession at this point. Oh, Carr will take that 3. Just a little bit too much room.
Talk about lead changing, right?
Hey, back and forth we go. Yeah, we talked about it's a heavyweight fight. It's the 4th round. Oh, dangerous pass. And Carr knocks it out of bounds. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Take a look here, right to left. Just a tough shot there. Lost Alvarado. Nobody stepped up.
Alvarado gets inside yet again. Can he make it 2 in a row? Yes, indeed. The third quarter was a threes. Fourth quarter decides to go to the basket.
Just a Jackson screen there as Kevin Gelly's trying to push up Condit. It's a great job recognizing smart basketball.
Carr weaves his way, finds a little space, kicks it back out. Darling loses it, and Clavel up ahead to Pinheiro. Beautiful pass, and a two-handed flush by Isaiah Pinheiro. What a fast break. Another beautiful pass by Jan Clavel, getting his 6th assist. Here's George now. And they're going to call that on the floor. 13 foul for Puerto Rico. You see there the highlight. Pinheiro takes off. Give Puerto Rico the lead yet again, 66-64. Fans loving it. And Pinheiro earns his little break here. As Gary Brown comes back on the floor, and George looked for the seal. Leonard Miller couldn't deliver the pass. Alvarado. Clavel. Oh, great defense. 2 combined for the block. Romero gets it back. Can't finish at the rim. Great defense from Canada. Leonard Miller in transition. 2 long steps. Oh, wow. No whistle. Clavel, transition 3. Oh, looked like he got hit too. So referees letting them play a little bit. Eventually they call a whistle underneath here.
That's learning for Miller as well, right? This is, now you're playing, you take a look here, takes off. But that's just good verticality by Condit, right? The difference between, FIBA play and NBA rules, the officials here are going to let you play a little bit more. Or the way the game is officiated, rather. So that's either got to be, you got to take off to dunk it, or Darling in that left corner making a play.
So Kyle Wiltshire comes on for Leonard Miller. It'll be very interesting to see who Coach Mitchell goes with as his end-of-game lineup in this close game. Down 2 at the moment. Keyshawn George looks like he wants to take over. Oh, Nate Darling, nice dump-off pass. Kabengele. And oh, look at that sportsmanship.
Now that's a finish. That's a finish there. But heck of a job by Nate Darling getting into the paint, drawing Condit, and then you're dropping it down to Kabengele. Clean finish, strong finish off too.
Alvarado in traffic. Oh, and 1. What a shot by Jose Alvarado. And he'll head to the free throw line, a chance at the 3-point play. These fans in this arena are loving it. That's
just
nice.
will. That's just will. If you want me to sit down here and break that down or give you some analysis there, I don't have it for you. That's just a player that willed that basket in.
Considering the contact came from Kabengele, able to fight through it. And Alvarado can't complete the 3-point play, but he's got 19 points on the night. Gives Puerto Rico the lead yet again. Oh, George will step back. And they leave Marcus Carr wide open. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Carr.
Big-time players make big-time plays.
Yeah, Carr, who plays in this past season in Würzburg, Germany, with David Mooncat. And a deflection out of bounds back to Canada. A turnover in a crucial possession. 3:13 left. Puerto Rico in the bonus. Canada 1 foul away from the penalty. Clavel on George, looking to use his hands. Shot clock at 5, and it's a turnover. Nice bounce pass, and Romero takes flight and hammers it down.
That's a little bit too casual, George, too casual with the basketball. Clavel really got into his shorts and wanted to get rid of it. Just toss it up, and a careless turnover there.
Oh, Alvarado gets Carr, and it's going to be a foul on Jose Alvarado. Marcus Carr will head to the free throw line, and we've had the lead change back and forth seemingly every possession these last few minutes.
Marcus Carr rejecting the screen, going down to that right slot against Alvarado. Marcus Carr is no slouch. Right, he's done a heck of a job on the defensive end of the floor, but he's definitely stepped up on the offensive side as well.
That's a very nice pass from Clavel, considering he was on the same line, same plane as Romero, but still was able to lead him with the bounce pass, leading to Romero dunk. And we're tied yet again, this time at 70. Marcus Carr, only 1 assist today, but he's been very impressive on the offensive end. Knocks down both free throws. He'll head to the bench. Trey Bell Haynes comes back on. Alvarado finds Clavel. Clavel, 17 points, 7 assists. He's played a great game so far. Mooncat denying Alvarado. They go to Romero. Shot clock at 4. Gary Brown, he'll pull up. 3-pointer too strong, loose ball. Keyshawn George collects.
Great gang rebound by Miller and Kevin Gelly. Romero out of the picture.
Mooncat looking to go at Jose Alvarado. Has the size advantage. Nice move. Can't finish. Brown the rebound out to Alvarado. 3-on-3. And Jose just pulls it back out. Under 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter of a tightly contested game. The 2 top teams in Group B, Jose Alvarado, and let's see if they give him the 3 free throws. They do indeed.
He's so smart. He's so smart. He turns that corner, and Mooncat is on his backside, falling over. As soon as he feels it, he goes up. He's in his active shooting there.
That's what it means to leave it all on the floor. So 3 big free throws for Jose Alvarado. Again, he just had a trip to the foul line where he missed the and 1 free throw. He's actually 0 for 3 from the foul line so far. A few substitutions for Canada. Miller and Mooncat head back to the bench. A little bit of offense for defense substitutions. A small pause here as the officials are having a little discussion. The shot clock malfunctioning on the side of the Puerto Rican bench. So we're looking to fix that. Kind of gives these teams a little extra timeout of sorts to recover, draw up the next few plays. All right, so 71-70 once again. It's Group B here, the FIBA AmeriCup. Winner goes to the top of the group. And there is that shot clock malfunction again in the clock as well on that end. Seems to be at a different time than the rest of the scoreboard. You check out some of the highlights from the second half. Keyshawn George and Nate Darling really lighting it up from the outside. George has 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Overall, Canada shooting 9 of 22 from the three, 41%. Puerto Rico just 7 of 28, 25%. They've knocked down some big ones. Both teams 18 assists. Rebounding numbers, +3 for Puerto Rico. Points in the paint, only +2 for Puerto Rico. Again, it's been just tight the entire way. So they're just, again, working on the clock. We apologize for the inconvenience and the slight delay here. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. This is tough.
No inconvenience at all. We have a great game. Both teams are using this time to deliberate a bit more over how they're going to execute or what they're going to run in the last minute and 34 seconds of this one.
So just give you a game recap. Canada has 2 timeouts left. Puerto Rico as well with 2 timeouts. Both teams in the penalty the rest of the way. Of course, Alvarado will be at the foul line once we get this situation sorted. 3 free throws to come. Alvarado, 19 points. The chance to be the first player with 20 plus in this game. Only 3 players double figures for each team. They came in with 5 players averaging double figures. But of course, this is just a different level.
You look at the unit that's on the floor for both teams. If you're Canada, Coach Nate Mitchell, right, you want, after these free throws, make or miss for Alvarado. You want the basketball. You live and die with the basketball in your best player's hands, right? And fortunately, you have a calming presence. Trey Bell Haynes at the helm and the point guard, making something happen, right? Trying to get Keyshawn George a look. And secondarily, right, Nate Darling has knocked down a couple of shots. Where you have somebody, both those guys that can stretch the floor in terms of Nate Darling, Kyle Wiltshire, and Keyshawn George. So a lot to work with. And then on the other side of the floor, Brown, Pinero, Condit, and Alvarado, Romero as well.
So the shot clock and game clock are now functioning on that end. And we're going to resume the action now. Alvarado got plenty of rest before these free throws. 3 attempts to come with Puerto Rico down 1. And again, he's 0 for 4 from the foul line. At this point, you have to wonder whether it's in his head a little bit.
I think that's your answer. It's in his head. You got your answer.
He makes the 3rd of 3 free throws and ties it up. 1 for 6 for Alvarado from the free throw line. Of course, he's been the best player for Puerto Rico alongside Jan Pavel. Bill Haynes, he gets inside, takes a bump and kisses it off the glass.
Wow. You get that little ram screen in the key, and Kyle Wiltshire slips out. He gets an attack at the rim, takes the bump, gives him a little bit more leverage. He goes up and floats it.
2 guys go with Alvarado. They reverse it to Pinero, catch and shoot 3. Can he chase his own shot? Not this time. It goes out of bounds. 57 seconds. Puerto Rico down 2. Canada with the ball. Again, both teams have 2 timeouts. Timeouts have to be called on a dead ball only by the coach.
You got to value the basketball here, right? That basketball should be in Trey Bell Haynes' hands.
Don't need to foul for Puerto Rico. Good denial from Pinero. Oh, they're going to call a hold on Pinero. Cavagele, very fortunate because that pass was off target. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
He's showing you a little point guard skill. A little hug there, foul, but so I take you didn't trust Kevin Gallon making that play.
Listen,
I mean, he was showing you a left-handed pass. It was on target with us over here.
all I know is I do trust Keyshawn George in the free throw line if I'm a fan of Canada. Knocks down the first. And a chance to make this a 2-possession game. 45 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Both free throws good for George. That gives him 16 points on the night. Puerto Rico calls a timeout to figure out the strategy in this last minute of play. Well, it has not disappointed. That was for sure. Neither team has led double digits. Canada, the largest lead, 8. Puerto Rico, 5. And it's just been back and forth the entire time. Obviously, Canada's had the lead for I would say the majority of the game. Puerto Rico not trailing far behind.
I mean, if you're Puerto Rico right now, right, and I'm Coach Gonzalez, how do I get Alvarado the cleanest look, the best look, right? He's going to have whether Marcus Carr, Trevo Haynes on him, locked in on him, top guarding him full court. But how can I get him a comfortable look? If not, how can I get the basketball in Cavell's hands to make a shot and make a play, right? You got 45 seconds, 45.8 seconds on the clock, right? There's still a ton of time in a 4-point game.
So Puerto Rico has the possession. You see Landon Miller back on the floor. If they do need to foul, he has been Canada's, I'm going to say worst, but lowest percentage shooting free throw shooter at 40%.
Like I said, the block there to have Keyshawn George matched up using the length on Jose Alvarado.
You imagine they're going to set a few screens to try to free him up. Here he is coming off the pin down from Condit. It's Clavell on the other wing. Catch and shoot 3, no good. Rebound to Miller. Finds Kabengele. And 6-second differential, game clock and shot clock as Bell Haynes will head to the free throw line. So they gave them 2 options. You had Alvarado on the left wing, Clavell on the right wing. Clavell got the look, couldn't knock it down.
It's the exact same play they ran the first action of the game where Alvarado has a decision to make where he can come off the single screen or come off the double. Both times they were unsuccessful with it.
First free throw from Bell Haynes is good. And if Miller is the lowest free throw percentage on the team, Bell Haynes hasn't missed a free throw the entire tournament. 100% from the line.
I don't know if he's sweat either yet. In any of these games, he's just so cool, so calm.
Another timeout on the floor is the lead now up to 6 for Canada. And obviously still plenty of time for Puerto Rico to get back into it. But if you're a fan of Canadian national team basketball, you feel pretty good about your chances of winning this Group B and finishing with the #1 seed heading into the quarterfinals. Bell Haynes now in double figures with 11 points. Hasn't recorded an assist, interestingly enough. We talked about the fact that Bell Haynes and Marcus Carr were combining for over 20 points per game and 13 assists per game coming into this. But they've actually done more scoring than passing, and it's worked out.
Yeah, more score, more pass, but I think the assignment was a lot different today, right?
Sure.
The idea was, like, how do we make this game as difficult on Alvarado and Clavell? And they did that, right? And difficult shots. And there was a number of times that Puerto Rico really just couldn't get into their offense because of the defensive play of those guards of Canada. So not necessarily needed entirely on the offensive side, but what can you do? Can we generate some offense from our defense? And they did that.
And both of them on the floor with this defensive possession. As you mentioned, their defensive abilities have been relied upon. Carr with 10 points, Bell Haynes with 11, Kabengele with 11, and Keyshawn George leads the way with 16. So Puerto Rico will look for a quick shot here. You got to get it inside first. Oh, it's going to be a 5-second count. They got fortunate. Here's Plumer. He'll hit a little step back 3. No good. Kabengele gets the rebound. Over to Miller. He'll take it all the way. and flush it down for the uncontested dunk and the dagger. Canada, they can taste it now. Top of Group B. Clavel knocks down a 2. Under 5 seconds left. And they are going to foul. So Keyshawn George will head to the free throw line and put this one to bed. And you see disappointment there for George Condit, but of course Puerto Rico lives to fight another day. They still qualify as the second place finisher in Group B, which means they'll get seeds either 4, 5, or 6 going into the quarterfinals. The 3 first place teams automatically get the first 3 spots. Then the 3 second place teams get the next 3. And then the 2 best third place teams out of Group A, Group B, or Group C will take seeds 7 and 8. The 1 seed will play the 8 seed. So as Kabengele, I think they're going to count that little tip dunk. So as the buzzer sounds, Canada victorious over Puerto Rico, 80-73 to win Group B. A great game for the Canadians on the offense and defensive end of the floor. And for the first time in this tournament, they were challenged. They still come out on top.
Yeah, they were challenged, and I think today more than ever, they really showed their depth, right? 28 bench points, but also defensively, they were able to tighten the screws when they really needed to, and you credit all of the guards for Canada. Trey Bell Haynes and Keyshawn George and Marcus Carr, all the guys stepped up. Nate Darling stepped up, played some defense as well. David Mooncat, a heck of a job when he was on Alvarado, using his strength. And they, you got to credit Coach Daniel Mitchell and the rest of their coaching staff, because they came out and said, listen, we're gonna try and muck this game up defensively. And they did that, right? Showed a number of different looks, right? Puerto Rico showed them zone. They found ways to attack it, and it was just a balanced game, right? Puerto Rico was able to they had 11 more shots than Canada had, and wasn't able to convert. Shot 41% from the floor and 23% from the 3. So this game, yes, it was back and forth. Yes, it was, a jab fest, but once it came down to it, it was defense that really won Canada this game.
Check out the highlights in the fourth quarter. Obviously, we've been very fortunate to witness a number of incredible games. The first, one of the games this morning, or earlier today, featured a buzzer beater from Argentina over Colombia to avoid the upset. We've seen a couple overtime games. We've seen buzzer beaters at the end of regulation that go to overtime. But this, I feel, was the best game overall as far as 2 teams really playing at a high level.
Yeah, the tactical part of this game, the speed of this game, the intensity, and, both teams throwing their punches and both teams reacting. The coaches going into the locker room, coming out, making some adjustments. So I thought, to your point, right, this game wasn't just basketball, it was art. And sat down and was able to listen to beside me, having some fun. But no, just watching these guys, execute down the stretch. Credit both these teams, and it's unfortunate one had to lose. But here's the thing, right? You go into quarterfinal play, now the scouting and the schemes get even tighter, because everybody's been able to see, what you've done for the last couple of games. You get to see everybody was anticipating this game right here, and now you got to scout both these teams at their best.
Listen, these 2 teams might face each other again in the bracket, in the knockout phase. But for this one, it's Canada victorious, 82-73, +9.